Today we're going to be taking a look at Ethereum, the number 2 coin on the board, and buckle up guys, because this one is a completely different animal than Bitcoin, and if you only remember one thing from today, make it this. While everybody's been staring at Bitcoin bleeding out this year, the big money has been quietly walking out of Bitcoin's door and lining up outside Ethereum's. Yeah, and I do mean lining up literally. There is a 62-day waiting line to get into this thing right now, and I'm going to explain exactly what that line is and why it exists. So let's get into it. First, what actually is Ethereum, because most people genuinely don't know. Bitcoin, like we talked about last time, is a ledger, a record book of who owns what. That's its whole job, and it does that one job better than anything on Earth. Ethereum said, what if the ledger could run programs? So Ethereum is a ledger that executes code. People call it the world computer, and that sounds like marketing fluff, but it's actually the plainest way to say it. Thousands of computers around the world all run the same programs and hold the same records, and no company owns the machine. Anybody can write an application and park it on there, and once it's on there, nobody can shut it off. Not a bank, not a government, not even the person who wrote it. Those applications are what people call smart contracts, and that's a terrible name, so think of them as vending machines instead. You put the money in, the thing you were promised comes out automatically, no clerk, no manager, no trust required. Every stablecoin transfer, most of the DeFi we talked about in the Telcoin days, the lending markets, the exchanges with no company behind them, the tokenized funds the big banks are playing with now, the overwhelming share of that world runs on Ethereum rails. When you hear people say real-world assets are coming on chain, Ethereum is the chain they mostly mean. Now, how do you use this thing? Every action on Ethereum costs a little fee called gas, paid in ETH, the coin itself. Busy network, gas goes up. Quiet network, it's pennies. And this is where Ethereum's money design gets interesting, because unlike Bitcoin, there is no 21 million hard cap here, and the Bitcoin crowd loves to swing that at Ethereum like a club. But here's what they leave out. Ethereum burns money. A chunk of every single fee paid on the network gets destroyed, permanently taken out of circulation forever. So when the network is busy enough, Ethereum destroys coins faster than it creates them, and the total supply actually shrinks. Right now there's around 120 million ETH in existence, and new issuance is tiny. The machine pays its security bill with pocket change and burns the rest of the toll booth money. It's a different philosophy. Bitcoin's answer to inflation is a wall. Ethereum's answer is a furnace. And that brings us to the part that changed everything. The part Bitcoin flat out does not have. Ethereum pays you. Back in 2022, Ethereum got rid of mining entirely. No more warehouses of machines burning electricity. Instead, the network is secured by staking. You lock up your ETH as collateral, your coins stand guard over the network, and the network pays you a yield for it, a few percent a year, paid in ETH. Behave honestly, and you get paid. Cheat, and the network destroys your deposit. Simple. Now think about what that means for a second. Bitcoin just sits in the vault, it earns nothing while you wait. Ethereum is the vault, and the rent check. It's the difference between owning a gold bar and owning the toll road. And the market has figured this out in a big way. Right now, roughly 36 million ETH is staked. That is about 30% of every coin in existence, standing guard and collecting yield, run by over 1 million validators. And remember that 62-day line I told you about at the top? That's the validator entry queue. That is money waiting 2 months in line just for the privilege of locking itself up. You don't see 62-day waiting lists to get into things people are giving up on. Now let me switch gears and give you the market picture, and just like last time, I'm not going to sugarcoat the ugly parts. Ethereum today trades around $1,860, market cap around $225 billion. The all-time high was up near 4,900 back in the 2021 madness, so yes, this thing is sitting at less than half of its former glory, and it has been a frustrating hold for years. The same bear market eating Bitcoin is chewing on Ethereum too. When the Fed squeezes and risk money runs, everything in crypto bleeds together. We covered that last episode. But here's where the two stories split, and this is the whole reason I wanted to do Ethereum right after Bitcoin. While the Bitcoin ETFs just posted the worst outflow stretch in their history, billions walking out the door, the Ethereum ETFs have been pulling money in. Why? One word: yield. Early this year, the big funds, BlackRock, Grayscale, flipped on staking inside their Ethereum ETFs, the ETF yield war people are calling it. So now a retirement account can hold Ethereum and collect the staking rent right through a regular brokerage. You cannot do that with the Bitcoin product. There's no rent to collect. And the corporate treasury crowd noticed too. Companies that used to brag about Bitcoin on the balance sheet, the new generation is stacking ETH instead. Treasury companies now hold over 6 million ETH combined, up from under 1 million a year ago. The biggest one alone, BitMine, holds over 4 million coins. That's more than 3% of the entire supply, and another one, SharpLink, has collected over $33 million in staking rewards in 7 months. Even the loud money is at it. Arthur Hayes, the BitMEX founder, has been buying ETH by the millions of dollars these past few weeks and saying so out loud. None of these people are buying it because the chart is pretty. They're buying the rent check. And the machine itself keeps getting better, on a schedule, twice a year, like clockwork. 2025 brought two big upgrades. One raised the ceiling on validator stakes and cleaned up accounts. The other supercharged the layer 2s, the express lanes built on top of Ethereum that make everyday transactions cost cents instead of dollars. Two more upgrades are on the calendar for this year. Bitcoin's beauty is that it never changes. Ethereum's bet is the opposite. It evolves relentlessly, and it has shipped every major upgrade it promised for 5 years running. Now the honest risk talk, because education, not financial advice, always. 1. Competition is real. Solana and the other fast chains are cheaper and quicker for plenty of things, and they are taking real activity. Ethereum's answer is those layer 2s, but there's a real debate about whether the express lanes siphon value away from the main road, and you should know that debate exists. 2. The yield is an ETH, so if the price falls hard, the rent check shrinks with it. Staking is not a savings account, it's exposure with income on top. 3. No hard cap means the furnace story only works when the network stays busy. A dead quiet Ethereum quietly inflates. And 4. Same as Bitcoin, this thing trades glued to global liquidity now. The Fed sneezes, ETH catches the flu. Never put in money you can't watch get cut in half without losing sleep. And if you're trying to actually trade these swings instead of just riding them, the rotations, the yield plays, the chop, that is exactly what TradeSniper was built for. That's our tool for timing entries and exits on moves just like the ones we walked through today. Links down in the description, go take a look. So that's Ethereum in the summer of 2026. The unloved number 2 at half price, paying rent to 1 million landlords with a 2-month line at the door while everyone's eyes are glued to its older brother. Now I want to hear from this community because I know you guys have strong feelings on this one. Is the staking yield Ethereum's killer feature? Or is Bitcoin's simplicity still the smarter bet? Bitcoin or Ethereum? If you had to hold just one for the next 5 years, which one and why? Drop it in the comments. I read every one of them. And last episode's comment section was outstanding, so keep it coming. And while you're down there, come join us at the unfairadvantage.chat. That's our private community. That's where I'm at every day, talking these markets in real time with the group, calling these rotations as they happen, going way deeper than I can in a video. Come hang out with us. And if you got value out of this one, hit that like button and subscribe, because we're marching straight down the list of the top 250 coins, 2 reviews a week, and next up is a big one. And check out the link in the description box for more information. This is Red Bear signing off.